I know. And I was like getting ready. I was like so ready. And then she points at me, which was rude. And then she goes, "Who's right there?" And I'm like, "I'm a girl. She's right there, and she'll scare you better than any guy will." And I stand by that.
Hell yeah. Hi, I'm Charge and Die, professional scare actor. I tell Scareactor stories as my main content on TikTok, Instagram, and all the things. Be sure to follow me. After a while telling Scareactor stories, I figured, like, why not give my Scareactor friends a chance to tell theirs? So, thus, Scareactor Stories was born. I have a special guest with me tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up? I'm Sammy D, aka Sammy the Monster, scare actor, lesbian. I have ADHD. I don't know, those are the big ones.
I love that intro. Happy Thursday. Such a random day to be having these interviews. They're usually on Saturdays, but thank you so much, Sammy, for being here again. So, fun fact, Sammy has already done this interview. We tried to go live before. This was during the time of different technical issues with a lag. And I did record that, but the recording got corrupted. So this is take two. Take two, but I'm going to be asking you all the same questions. It's a good thing we don't remember anything that we discussed from the first time, because we're probably going to say all these same things.
Yeah. I have really bad memories, so even though we've done this interview before, I don't know.
Same.
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 Up, everybody.
It's not from a lack of caring. It's from probably ADHD and depression and anxiety. You know, all those fun things.
That's so relatable.
Scare acting helps. Scare acting is our therapy.
Scare acting is my therapy. I can make children cry and then I feel better about myself.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't do that anymore because moms get mad at me for scaring their kids, but I've done it. I'm not gonna lie, you've scared kids too, right?
Oh, I steal them.
You what?
I steal them.
You steal children.
I steal children. I adopt them. It's voluntary. What was it? Involuntary adoption. What was it called? No. What did people call it on TikTok? Like they were calling it something. I was known on TikTok as I was called Mama Wolf, because I would find kids that were too scared to go through the rest of the haunt. And if they weren't, like, deathly afraid of me, I would go up to them, interact with them a bit until they trusted me a little more. And then I would scare the parents off and have the kids follow me around for a while, and we would scare the other scare actors, and that would help the kid not be so scared going through the rest of the haunt.
That's really cute. Can you do that to my girlfriend?
Hell yeah. Come through knots. I will try my best. I'm doing an interesting character this year. It was very easy as a werewolf, because that's like, I'm a monster. But this year I can't say what I am, because that would spoil it and NDA and all that. But I'm not so much a monster necessarily. Like, I'm not sure what kind of character they're going for. I haven't even had orientation yet, so I don't know what the reference for the character is. But I'm not sure how I will. Oh, I'm so gonna adopt kids. I'm just thinking about it right now. This is the first time I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, no. This will be easier because I'm allowed to speak at this haunt.
Oh my god, wait. Tanya is from Knots. Tanya, are you doing Knots this year? Garlic Knots.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
No answer. It's
That's okay. Give it a minute. There might be a lag.
I feel you though. Kind of the same with my role this year at HHN. Not quite a traditional sort of wolfy monster situation.
Yeah.
Fright Fest. No, she's doing Fright Fest this year, but she's from Knots. What is Fright Fest? Where is
It's
that?
Six Flags. The only reason I know is because my boyfriend grew up in that area, and when we started dating, he was like, I need to take you to Six Flags because I have this pass and it's right there near where I live and all this stuff. Almost 2.5 years later, and we still have yet to go to Six Flags, but he's talked about Fright Fest a lot. And he's never been. It's supposedly really good. Like, at least their opening ceremony is very good, from what I hear.
Nice. I don't like Six Flags as a park, but like I would totally go to Fear Fest. That seems cool.
I have this goal in mind of like going to every haunt that I hear about and can't afford to go to, just to see what the different vibe is, what the actors are doing. No matter how small a haunt or big a haunt, like they're always different. They have their own charm to them, and I want to experience them all. That's a goal I have. My boyfriend was saying, my boyfriend and I were talking recently about having our own haunted house one day. Like, we're looking into buying a house, but we have it in mind that one day we're going to create a haunted house around this. And then when we have kids one day, I'm going to train them to be mini monsters.
Mini Scareactors? Oh my, it's like when you go to horror conventions and you see somebody's kid dressed up as Sam from Trick or Treat. That shit.
Oh, my heart. I love it. And I think that's a good segue for like the next part of this, which is, you know, the very basic questions of how did you get started in scare acting, and what were you when you were scare acting? And I know you were in Trick or Treat, which is why I wanted to mention the Sam as a segue. So how'd you get started?
I worked day ops at Universal Studios before I ever auditioned to be a scare actor. It's interesting though. Like, I'm a horror artist. You know, I'm Sami the Monster. I make stickers and stuff. I like write a lot of horror. I paint a lot of horror. And just like overall, like, horror is my whole thing. I read horror. And it's interesting. It took me a while to really understand that I was starting to like horror. And I remember the first time I ever went to Universal Studios, I was 16. That was the year that Walking Dead was Terror Tram.
Nice.
Yeah. And I actually was really scared of zombies. Okay, because one time when I was a kid, my dad was at work, and I called him on the landline, and I said, "Hey, Dad, I really want to watch TV. How do I turn on the TV?" He's like, "You just turn on the speaker, and then you turn on the TV." And I went to turn it on, but the speaker was on its loudest, or it was just really freaking loud. And it was stuck on Walking Dead, and I had to like sit there as a kid and like watch monsters eat people really loudly before I could figure out how to turn off the TV. So then I was really scared of zombies for a while.
Understandable.
My friends invited me to... Yeah, it was really traumatizing. But then I went to HHN with my friends, and I didn't really know much about horror. I was still getting... I was like... like, my artwork was getting darker, but I still haven't really, like... I was embracing it. And I was scared. I've never been to a haunt before, and I was scared of zombies. But my friends wanted to go. And I remember I walked in, and there was like the first scare zone. I think there were some chainsaws, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
They always start with the chainsaw. Always.
I know. And I was like, "I don't think I can do this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't do this." So I'm like walking through the scare zone. A couple people pop out. I'm like, I think I might fall down from fear. And then we decide to go to Terror Tram. That was the first thing we did. The first thing we did was Terror Tram, and we're like in the tram, and they're like doing the whole intro with the zombies, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I hate zombies, and I'm stuck on this tram, and I can't get off." And I'm just like, wow, I can't get off this train. What if I just like fake pass out, and they're gonna have to take, like, what do I do? I'm trying to figure out what to do. And we get off the train, and I'm like, they're gonna have to escort me off property. I'm gonna like fall down and faint. I don't know what to do. I just gonna fall in a ball and cry. So I'm like freaking out, and like one zombie pops out at me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't, I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to be taken away in a gurney." The second scare actor pops out at me, and I'm like, "Oh, I can't go back now." The third scare actor pops out at me, and I'm like, "Yeah." And I've never been scared of anything since.
You got desensitized.
Yeah, nice. I just like reached my cap on fear. And then I did day ops, and I always thought it was cool. I don't even think we got to finish going. Oh, my live stopped.
Uh-oh.
No. Oh, it's back. I also got, I think, a question. Oh, somebody said saying that I saw Walking Dead as a kid makes him feel old. Yeah, I think I'm like Carl's age in real life. How old is the guy who plays Carl? I feel like I'm his age.
Oh, I don't know. Let's IMDb. Yeah. I refuse to not know this. I apparently
Yeah.
know someone on the show, but I've never seen the show, and I don't really know the person either, so it's fine. It's like a family
Oh,
friend.
my-
It's like the son of
oh,
a
gotcha.
family friend or someone, I don't know, who's on it, and I don't remember what he plays, but here we
Oh
go.
yeah. I'm a year older
Walking
than
Dead.
him. So I'm a year older than the guy who plays Carl. So he was really young when that came out. So, yeah.
Carl.
He's 22, 1999. I'm 23.
I want to see what he looks
1998.
like. Oh, yeah, he looks really young. Okay.
Yeah, so he was like a kid in the first season, so like a baby. 10? So we're the same age basically.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. I'm trying to
Yeah.
like see the whole cast and like I'll know the name when I see it, but I notice people that I recognize. I haven't seen the show after all this time. I really should.
I was actually just I don't know if it's like the best show, but I did skip like 5 seasons because there were lesbians in it. And then I just like picked up in the middle of a random season and was like, okay.
Hmm.
And now I'm like 2 seasons later, I'm like, okay. I was just watching some before this, and I was like, okay, kind of
Aus-
interesting.
Austin
The
Emilio
lesbian.
plays Dwight. That's the family friend.
Oh, Dwight. I know that name. I know
Yeah.
that character. Let me look up that character.
Yeah, I guess he was filming in Atlanta or something, and
Well,
my
okay.
family's from the East Coast, and I used to be from around Atlanta, so that makes sense. Yeah, lame
That's
claim
cool.
to fame because I don't even really know him. If I did meet him, it was when I was very, very young, and
Hmm.
I honestly can't even say if I'm related or not. Like, I don't know if it's because he's a distant cousin of mine or just family friend. I can't know that
Right.
for sure. But that's my connection to the show. I haven't actually seen the show.
Wyatt says hello.
Hello! Hi! You said
He
Wyatt?
says hi. Yeah.
Hi, Wyatt!
He says hi, Wyatt.
Yay!
I'm very bad at usernames. Like I know who you are, but like
I like it when people have
Right.
usernames that are at least similar to their real life name. Because after a
Right.
while, especially during the mess, you. Especially
Wyatt's
when you
mad.
have ADHD and it's like out of sight, out of mind, and
Yeah.
and you forget about the person not for a lack of caring. It's just our memory is shot. That's just how our brains work, right? And
I
so
know, it's just like-
you don't see that person for a long time, so you start forgetting what they look like or what their name is even. Even if you were really close to them, it really sucks. And then you reconnect through social media, but they have a different name on
Right.
social media, so you're like, who are you?
So I understand.
Oh.
Wyatt filled in as a wolf once, and it was pretty funny because he identifies as a guy. He's a guy, so like he was wearing a corset and a skirt, you know.
That's
Who's a wolf.
fun. Yeah, the fun fact
Yeah.
for people,
Wait, were you cool?
it doesn't matter your gender. What matters is the gender of the character you're playing. Because people who identify as male have played females a lot, and the
Right.
reverse.
I identify as female, and I've done a guy character. It was
Yeah.
better. I got pants.
I
You
had
were
to
cool?
fill in once at a small haunt. Like everyone called out this day in particular. I don't know why. I told this story on my TikTok for those who have heard this before. I apologize, but I filled in for this one guy, and his spot was a really important one. But he was a big guy, like tall and large, and they were like, you're the biggest person we have right now. Everyone else called out. And it was like a bunch of people who were around 5'6", and I'm 5'9", and they were like, you're the biggest one we have. Can you please? And I was like, I don't fit the costume. I don't intimidate people the way he does. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. They were like, it's fine. It has a drawstring on the pants and stuff. You could just like tie it extra tight. I said fine because who am I to question my boss, right? I put on the costume. I'm drowning in it. I go out there and I try and scare as best as I can, but as one group approaches, I go out to scare and my pants fall down in front of them.
Oh.
Luckily,
My
I always wear leggings underneath. Like I always wear some sort of shorts and shirt underneath my costumes. So like I wasn't exposed, but still, it's like
Yeah.
my pants just fell down.
Very intimidating.
But
Very intimidating. Your pants.
but I took advantage of them being distracted by my pants being down, and I jumped out of my pants and I scared them. So
You jumped out of your pants.
I literally
You said,
jumped
"Fuck the
out.
pants."
I was like, I did this like monkey move of like pants go down, and then they look down at my pants. I look down at my pants. I realized they're distracted by my pants being on the ground, so I did like a big like monkey jump out of my pants and rushed them.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of amazing though.
I got a big reaction because they had no idea what was going on. I'm like, me neither, but we're working with it. This is like improv. Let's go.
That's kind of amazing. That's kind of amazing.
Ah.
Oh, you're female this year at HHN. That's pretty cool. Why it's playing a female role.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, but circling back, how I got into scare acting, yeah, I just was working day ops, and then I left, and then I was like, oh man, I actually am paying attention, and I found the audition, and then I auditioned, and the rest has been history. I've made some great friends. I've embraced the horror side of me. I mean, I was like 20 when I started, so like I've really like went from basically the end of my teenage years, because I was like 19 going on 20, all the way to like becoming a full-on adult. So like a lot has changed since then, and I feel like I'm like growing.
That's great. Like you're coming into your
HHN.
own,
These
learning a lot.
are like formative years. Yeah. But I love it. I'm really excited for this year. I'm really excited. It's gonna be a really fun year.
Okay, so you can't say who you are. Do you know who you are yet? Have you been told?
I do. Yeah.
Was it the one you wanted?
No, but this is a pretty good. It's a pretty good one.
Okay.
You know?
We'll talk when
You
we're
might
not
be better.
recording.
Wait.
You'll tell me who you are. Yeah.
We'll talk. We'll talk. Oh, question for both of us, please.
Okay.
He hasn't typed it yet, but he said question for both of you. How do you feel about COVID this year, the mess this year?
The mess this year. Good question. Would you like to answer first, Sammy? It is your interview.
Are you talking about in like regards to scare acting? Because I'm extremely nervous about it. I'm really hoping that that we're taken care of by the higher ups, and I really hope that everybody does their part. But I'm planning on being as safe as I can. Yeah, with HHN. Yeah, I'm really really nervous about it. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean that's just I'm gonna do everything I can to feel safe and be safe, and I'm gonna keep my distance from people in the common areas. I am nervous though, but yeah. Yeah, I'm nervous.
I'm also very nervous, especially with the variant going around. If it was just the first one we had to deal with and there was no variant, I'm fully vaccinated, so I would have felt okay. But with this variant, I'm really nervous because it's essentially like undone a lot of the progress we made. So I feel thankful that I'm in a zone this year. So I'm going to be out in the open with a lot of room so that I can keep a distance if I want to. But I am also nervous because I'm required to essentially not be wearing a mask on my face.
I've heard that outdoor places don't require that.
Because of the makeup and everything, I am a character, and I haven't been told. I haven't gone through orientation, so maybe this will change when I go through that, and they'll tell us how to do this, because I don't know the rules concerning the mess. But I know I could at least keep a distance if needed. I won't be wearing a mask, which makes me kind of nervous. And also, I'm not union this year. So even if there was a concern, it's not like I could bring it up to the union and have them fight for me for it. And that makes me nervous too, because I know at least with HHN, you guys are union. So if there ever was a health concern, you could go and report it to the union and they will fight for you.
That's a good point. The union is a nice thing to have.
Yeah, but I'll also be not having as many breaks as I did at HHN. I only get like 2 breaks and a lunch. It's essentially like hours, regular working hours, rather than set times.
scary.
at HHN instead of like a 45 on, 45 off, like 45 scaring, 45 minutes resting, for those who don't understand what that means. Where I'm working, it's going to be several hours on in a row and then a 15-minute break, another couple hours, half-hour lunch break, couple hours, 15-minute break, and then the rest of my shift. So,
Yeah, that's really freaking rough. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's
but
rough.
I won't be wearing a huge wolf head. That'll take over. At least I'll be able to see, breathe. I don't know about breathe necessarily with the variant, like we expressed our concerns, but I'll be able to see, breathe, and potentially hear things like I couldn't in the other mask. So pluses.
Yeah, I've been there.
So we're nervous is the consensus. We were very nervous about this.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything I can to like socially distance myself, and I'm bringing a bunch of masks and sanitation with me, and I'm gonna take it slow and like, yeah, no, I'm just very nervous.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna default to how I normally scare, which is getting up in people's grills, you know, so I'm gonna need to
my style.
feel it out the first couple weeks, not only getting back into the swing of scaring because it's been a couple years, but also with the mess. Gotta make those adjustments those first couple weeks and see how we feel.
I actually really feel that. My normal scare style is also in your face, but with my role this year, I don't think that would really, I don't think that's like a problem because my role, I don't think calls for that.
Are you in a maze?
Yeah, somebody said, Wyatt said isolate yourself. I'm definitely going to be isolating myself as much as possible. I am, yeah. I am.
Mazes are different. Different monsters to tackle.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of concerns I probably can't talk about, but I'll tell you after we're not recording.
Sure.
More details, but yeah. I'm really excited for my role this year, but also extremely. Hi, Marissa! Oh my god. Sorry, I just love Marissa so much. She's here. She's queer. She's on my live stream.
Nice. So let's talk about your character in 2018 was essentially the same character as mine, just in a different area of the park. Do you want to talk about a little bit of that and your experience with that?
Yeah, totally. It was trick or treat. We were both werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
It was rough. Fur, wolf gloves.
Yeah.
Big hairy mask. Very rough. Very rough. One of my friends who filled in as a wolf also did Demogorgon. She said that like hours were pretty intense compared to that.
Even compared to the Demigorgon? Seriously?
Well, she was a half. She was a half.
Yeah, but still,
So.
I thought that would be really intense considering what kind of material it was made out of. But
You know.
all
That's
right.
what she said though. Just her opinion. Are we allowed to talk about this stuff? We can talk
After
about
the
this
fact,
stuff,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I thought so.
you want to give it enough time after so that it's not like spoiling the magic, so to speak. As long as we're not like posting behind the scenes stuff and or posting about us out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Halfway in and halfway out.
Yeah. But we could talk about it.
But that was a really fun year. It was my first year. And I had a really freaking great time, honestly. Yeah. I remember somebody came through. It was like for some like channel, I don't know, it's like Nerdist or BuzzFeed. And they like came in and were like, you know, as they do, they like send the scaredest person through.
Of course.
To get scared.
Because they're fun.
I know, and I was like getting ready. I was like so ready. And then she points at me, which was rude. And then she goes, "He's right there!" And I'm like, "I'm a girl. She's right there, and she'll scare you better than any guy will." And I stand by that.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not. I thought. Oh yeah, Wyatt's right. Sorry, Wyatt was answering my question if I can talk about things. He said, "Yeah, I'm just paranoid. It's fine."
We're not revealing
like
secrets. Yeah.
Right. I feel like I don't really have much to say because I can't remember anything in this very moment. I don't know why.
That's perfectly
Yeah, I was
fine.
a monster. I made people cry.
Nice. What was the best
That's
reaction that you can remember getting from scaring someone?
I think I remember 2019 better.
Okay.
When somebody walks
Go.
in, they look at me and they go, "A sleep paralysis demon." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I am." No, you're a sleep paralysis demon. Sorry, I'm reading reactions. Yeah. So being called a sleep paralysis demon was great. I scared a certain teenage alternative pop music artist to the floor pretty badly. I had two scare actors in the room. We had two in that room, and so the first guy scared her and she fell, and then she got up, and then I scared her and then she fell, and I was like, "Nice, I like your music." And now you're on the floor in pain. I mean, in like scaredy pain, you know, like not real pain, like emotional
Because
scare
of
pain.
me.
You know?
Yeah, it's one of those things
Because
where
me.
people think we're evil for what we do because, like, oh, we scare people for a living and then laugh at their pain. But why are they there in the first place? They're there to be scared. It's fun to
Right,
be
I'm
scared
fighting.
within a controlled area, right? Like, you know you're safe overall because we're not allowed to touch you. You're not allowed to touch us. Nothing's gonna, like, hurt you necessarily, like accidentally, maybe, I don't know. Depends on the hunt.
Oh god.
I mean, we get plenty hurt.
Oh yes, I've been hurt quite a bit. Quite a bit.
What makes it worth it for you then? Because I get a lot of those questions of like, if you get hit so much, then why do you keep going back?
It's the, you know, out of all the jobs I've had, it's the one I hate least.
Fair enough.
I know, it's just really fun being a character, being in costume, bringing these IPs to life, these movies to life, and like, I don't know, I mean, I feel like we've all scared somebody in our lives, you know, pop out, scare your friend, your brother, your sister.
Like,
You know,
prank them,
it's
kind
fun
of,
to-
yeah.
It's fun to play pranks.
I got a question. Woodland Critter ever have a haunt with a safe word? Personally, no, because I work mainly theme parks, and none of them get that intense where you need to sign a waiver and have a safe word. Nor would I, because I'm too nice. I can't.
I want to do it.
Yeah, you do?
I want to do it. I want to be one of those. I want to be a scare actor in one of those mazes where like you have to sign a waiver and they can like touch you and stuff. Like I want to be the scariest thing ever. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I want to do it once, but it depends on how intense we could get, because I don't want to torture anyone, but I do want to be able to like touch them and freak them out like that. It's so
I just
limiting.
want to grab them and be like, you know, is that too much to ask?
Someone punches me, I punch
Yeah,
him
I
right
wanna-
back. It's like, not here.
Right.
What are you doing?
Imagine. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I'm like, yeah. So I'm just like so excited and nervous. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I heard Terror Tram is back this year. Apparently, they only got rid of it the one year that I wasn't scaring. Oh, no. Yeah, they got rid of it the one year I wasn't scaring and intended to go as a guest so I could actually enjoy the experience and understand what Terror Tram was.
But there were two mazes that took its place.
Yeah, and they were great, but I never got to
Yeah,
like
it was-
ride the Terror Tram, and that was my first haunt there. That was my first maze there, and it was like nostalgic. I wanted to experience it because I'd never gone through HHN before working there, and I always wanted to. So I took 2019 off so that I could be a guest and go through everything. But that was the one year they didn't have Terror Tram, and everyone told me it was
Yeah.
never coming back due to like budget reasons and all this
I
stuff.
heard that too.
And yet
I
it's
heard it was
coming
never
back
coming
this
back as
year.
well. I mean, I only went to HHN once before I worked, and we only went on like one or two mazes, and it was Terror Tram. So like, opposite problems, I guess. Like I needed to experience other things besides Terror Tram. But yeah, well, maybe you could find a way to go this year as a guest.
My mic kicked out on me, but now it's back. Perfect timing. I'm gonna try and be a guest this year because I know that there's always one day that Knott's isn't working, but HHN is, and vice
heard
versa.
that.
So it's like the day that Knott's takes over HHN and HHN takes over Knott's.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
hoping
Maybe
to
we
be
should
able to
do
go
that,
that
you know.
day. But otherwise, I won't be
Right.
able to because I'm working every day.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys working some Wednesdays? If you work any Wednesday, I can go on that day after work, but
I don't think so.
really, that surprises
think
me.
I think we only really work Wednesdays if like Halloween falls on a Wednesday.
Well, in previous years, when my first year, we didn't really work a Wednesday unless Halloween fell on that day. Like whatever day Halloween falls on is the day we work that day. It could be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, doesn't matter. But otherwise, it was Thursday through Sunday. But in 2018, and I assume also 2019, I don't remember the scheduling necessarily for that, they kept adding 5-day weeks. There was at least 4 weeks that had 5 days in it, which means they worked Wednesdays.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we added some random ones last year.
Yeah,
you're right.
I felt like it was insane to have a 5-day week like our second week working, because you need to get through those first 2 weeks to really understand your character and get over the Scareactor fatigue and everything.
Right.
But
It does take a while.
I thought it was insane for them to add that 5-day week so early in the run. Usually they save it toward the end of the run, but yeah,
That's
there was at
true.
least 4 weeks that I remember.
I think I remember this. Somebody said, Mr. Valencia 27. That's the username. I know you, but I'm sure.
Carlos!
But they said that that only happened in 2018.
Was it only 28? I remember some 5 days in 2017. And they kept adding more. Like there were 2 weeks in 2017, I think, that had 5-day weeks, and I remember that being insane. And then in 2018, there were like 3 or 4, maybe even 5. Not 5 weeks. That's too much. But like there were 3 or 4 weeks where they did add a Wednesday to it. But then 2019, I wouldn't know because I didn't work 2019, so I wasn't paying that close attention.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember, honestly.
But I'm glad,
remember.
in a way, I am glad that if that's true, that they're not working Wednesdays, they're not doing the 5-day weeks, I'm happy for the Scareactors because 5-day weeks are the worst. Like some people are like, oh, but that's a normal work week. Yeah, but at other jobs, like normal 9 to 5 kind of jobs, you're not working for 12 hours and you're not moving constantly and being beaten up by guests. So it is a lot. It's very taxing and you're not acting constantly. That's exhausting.
That's true.
Yeah, so 5-day weeks really hit us hard. 4 days pushing it, but 5 is like, oh, that sucks. So
This page, HHN and stuff, just commented that the first week of 2021 might have a 6-day week.
no.
How?
No.
How is that possible? What do you mean?
I don't think the union would allow that.
Because of employee preview. That's intense. Is that real?
I doubt it, but let me know. The only
Yeah,
reason
I
I
will.
doubt it is because you guys are a union and someone could complain saying like, no one works 6-day weeks. Are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah. They announced some really cool mazes this year for
Yeah.
HHN. I love Haunted Hill House. It's like my favorite book. And I'm so excited to see that. I'm literally so excited. Bride of Frankenstein looks really cool because the monsters, Universal Monsters mazes in 2018, was it? Was it like spectacular? So they're trying to do a Universal Monster a year, I heard. I don't know
Yeah.
though.
I got 2 things to say about that. One, if I was working HHN, I really wanted to be Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know why, but I did. And I got an email after I already told them that I can't be cast.
Oh my god.
Saying like, we're still looking for these kind of actors and included Bride of
I saw that
Frankenstein. I was
email.
like, oh, that
Oh
would
my
have been
God,
me.
dude.
I feel like I was cast as the Bride of Frankenstein, which really hurts my feelings now because I was cast. I just never found out what I was cast as. And now they're like,
You
oh,
mean
we're
in-
looking
In 2020?
this year.
Oh, you applied this year.
I applied before I moved to Brea and got a new job and stuff. So I did intend to work HHN, but it takes them months to cast. And then in that time, I was like, oh, I can't do it anymore. So I did get the email saying I was cast, but they didn't tell me what it was because they don't until like orientation time or like costume fittings, right? So
Right. Yeah.
so I didn't know what I was cast as, but after I told them no, like just like a week later, I got that email saying we're looking for actors 6 feet and up, and also for these kind of mazes. And one of them was Bride of St. Frankenstein. I'm like, oh, I couldn't. There was a chance that I was cast as her, and I said no, and that
Oh,
sucks.
that's so sad.
That really makes me sad. It really makes me upset because I want to work HHN. I miss it. But the second thing about it was I just saw a TikTok of I guess at what was it? Midsummer Scream? That one in Pasadena. I guess they had a convention, and they announced some of the Halloween Horror Nights mazes, or like the plans for it.
Wait. Oh, okay. They do it every year, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, H&M and stuff said employee preview night happens 2 days before official opening. Yes, I know employee preview night happens, but we've never had a 6-day in a row, have we?
We've never had a 6-day. No, that's impossible.
Yeah.
That was impossible. But as long as I've been working, I never had a 6-day week. We gotta ask the 10+ year veterans saying like, has that ever happened? But no, that wouldn't, because they only add more days. They don't take them away. Anyway, so the second thing, they showed a video for the like Universal monsters, like the Bride of Frankenstein, all that stuff, and they announced like this daughter of Dracula, and then this female werewolf of London.
Female werewolf.
And I want to be her. But the thing is, the picture they used was a close-up of a half-transformed werewolf. Guess what? That's my wolf sister.
Oh my god, it's us?
It's not us. It was just one of my half-transformed wolves in my scare zone.
Oh, the half-transformed one from the scare zone.
Yeah, so one of my friends, who's actually coming over tomorrow, and I messaged her about this. I'm like, is this you? Did they use a picture of you for this? And she was like, that is me. They didn't ask permission to use me. I'm like, well, it's because it's their property. Like, they took that photo of you. But yeah, it was her. And I was like, I recognize you as the werewolf more than you without the makeup on at this point.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Yeah, and it was so cool.
This is so cool. This was a video they released?
This was a video they showed at the convention, Midsummer Scream.
So cool.
Yeah, so they had a really epic close-up photo of her like snarling with her makeup and prosthetics on, and to promote like the werewolf side of that zone or maze or whatever they were announcing.
It's like an all-female maze, basically. It sounds like it, right? Sounds like they're like gender bending a lot of stuff.
I think so. Like that was a lot of the comments on the TikTok video was like, Monster High vibes, anyone?
Monster High vibes, sign me up. Wait, can you send me that too? Where'd you find that? I mean, I'm so interested in this.
Someone sent it to me. Yeah, someone sent it to me on TikTok because they were like, oh, you work HHN, oh, you're a Scareactor, here you go. And I was like, oh, cool. But what they didn't know was like, I know the girl they used as the photo, and I had to let her know.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I'll send it to you on TikTok.
Yeah, I didn't know they like released stuff. I saw I literally only know what guests know at this point, which is cool. I don't want to accidentally leak anything, but
well, that's all it is. Like that, you're not allowed to say anything otherwise unless the public already knows. So they're revealing what the mazes and zones are little by little.
Right. I don't know what everything is. Bride of Frankenstein Lives was confirmed to be. Oh, I see. Frankenstein's monster. Oh, okay, interesting. People are telling me some stuff. That's pretty cool.
Let me look up.
I think I knew that. I think that's really cool. That is so exciting. So excited. I'm really honored that they want me to be a Scareactor again this year. That's so nice of them.
I got accepted, but I had to say no.
Are you really far from Universal?
Yeah, it would if it just came down to the drive, I would be able to do it because it's a little over an hour to get there now with traffic around that time I'd be driving. It'd probably be closer to 2 hours, but I don't care. Like if I wanted to go for something, I would suffer the 2-hour traffic. That's fine. Yeah. The real issue is I have a salary job. So I can't just like call out.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes
I have
sense.
to make up the hours somehow. And they are working with me as is with knots just 20 minutes away. It would be impossible to make up the hours if I needed a full 2+ extra hours to drive. Yeah.
So, okay, circling back.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have
Go for
I have a question. So I don't really know much about all the IPs. I know Haunting Hill House and like Bride of Frankenstein, of course. Like I've never seen that movie, but everybody's talking about it. Why is she Bride of Frankenstein or is she Bride of Frankenstein's monster? I'm very confused on the terminology here.
So Bride of Frankenstein, from my understanding, I never actually saw the original movie, but she was built as a partner for Frankenstein's monster. So she
Gotcha.
herself is a monster, but from my gathering, especially from that TikTok that I'm going to send you, they reveal a little bit more about it. And it's like a take, I don't know if it's based on a movie that I've never seen, but I guess she kind of takes the scientist role and is like building someone too. But then a vampire swoops in and it's all this craziness. So it's like a bunch of monsters that they're mushing together. But yeah, so she kind of takes the scientist role in this one too. But she is a monster herself.
That's actually really cool.
Fun fact for everyone, it was a black and white movie, but her hair was not black and white. Her hair was actually red with white streaks in it, and that is her real hair that she used. What they did was they brushed her hair back over a wire cage, and then they added strips of the white to it to get that look.
So she's a redhead.
She's a redhead. It just looks dark because it's a black and white movie.
Yeah. And like also, is Frankenstein's skin color green or is that completely made up?
Well, once again, it's a black and white movie, so it's hard to say, but they color him green because he's decaying flesh being reanimated. So that's like the classic look. I don't know if that's true or not, though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the book, I haven't read the book yet, but I think he's like actually supposed to be like really beautiful in the book. He's not supposed to be monstrous.
I read the book and I don't remember. I remember the film a little more.
Somebody's saying that The Bride of Frankenstein Lives is not based off a movie. That's interesting.
That doesn't surprise me considering what I saw in the film that they showed at the convention, because we knew it as Bride of Frankenstein, so we're like, oh, okay, so Bride of Frankenstein, that character, but what's the maze going to be like? Bride of Frankenstein Lives, that makes sense. That's not based off of a movie because what they showed was her, like I said, taking the scientist role and trying to recreate and reanimate bodies, which never happened. It never happened in any of the movies. No, because she...
Oh, I thought that was...
So the story, the gist of it is that she was created to be a partner to Frankenstein's monster so that he can learn to love and everything. He has so much love to give.
You know that Buffy episode?
No.
You know Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, I know Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but...
Oh, there's like an episode where these two teenagers are like stealing dead cheerleaders to like create a like a girlfriend for like one of their dead brothers, and he's like cutting up in a scene, and he goes like, Jesse's girl. And every time I hear that song, I think of that. It's
oh
so
my
disturbing,
god!
and I love it. I
my god! But yeah, so Frankenstein's monster was created as an experiment, of course. But he's not really like got a monster personality. He's just so full of love. He just doesn't understand. In the book, he speaks very well. He learns English very well. In the movie, they portray him as like, oh, don't know how to talk. He ends up, I don't know if you know this, but he ends up killing a little girl.
Oh my god! I feel like I actually did know this. Actually,
this is a very classic scene because everyone's like, oh my god, this is why he's a monster, but he means well. So he goes up to this little girl and she's throwing daisies in this body of water, like a pond or something, and they're floating. And he thinks that's the most beautiful thing. So he starts throwing flowers too, but he runs out of flowers and he thinks that she's as beautiful as a daisy. So he throws her into the water thinking she'll float, but she ends up drowning. And everyone just knows him as the one who killed a little girl. But his logic was like, but she's so beautiful. Maybe she'll float too. And we'll float too. Like, mixing them.
Oh my god! wait, I need to watch these movies.
Yeah, classics, man, that I haven't even seen, but I've done like research on them because of this class I took. But so Bride of Frankenstein was created to be a partner, a love romantic partner, specifically for Frankenstein's monster. But when she was reanimated as a corpse, right, she ended up hating him. She was disgusted, and that was like
I'm not hearing you.
Like there's that classic shot of her going ah! Like that. That's because that was her seeing him for the first time and going, I don't want you, you're ugly, you're horrible, what are you? And I like that a little bit because it's like she was made for him, and yet she still has free will and has a preference, and it's not him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So so it's a classic, but The Maze is not, I guess, gonna be based off of that, which makes sense considering what I saw. It's like she never took the scientist role, as far as I know, and I could be wrong because, like I said, I've never seen the movies, but I have the fun facts.
Somebody said that it's supposed to be like a sequel, I think, to the movie. Somebody says in the book. In the book, the monster was 8 feet tall, yellow skin, had long black hair and lips, and had a skull-like face. He was also super fast to speak, intelligent.
He was very intelligent in the book, yes. That part I remember. I didn't remember the description of him. But...
Does he talk? Does he not speak well in the movies?
He doesn't speak well in the movies. He speaks well in the book. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, so the look everyone bases it off of is the movie. So everyone bases the look off the movie version rather than the book version, of course, because they're visual, right? But in the movie, he is very much the fire. In the book, he like forms sentences. He could actually communicate.
I see.
Yeah. I need to watch all these movies again.
Somebody said also the creator instead. Bride of Frankenstein likes the creator. That's actually interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Somebody told me to watch Hill House. Hill House is my favorite book, and I love that show. I'll watch it a million times to prep for it. What else do I need to watch? What else has been announced? Victoria Reddy. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I'm obsessed with her also. I've seen most of Bly Manor as well. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
I'm trying to remember what the Instagram tag is, but there is a page that has all of the announcements on it.
Oh.
And HHN Forever. Yeah, no, those are all really old. Okay. Halloween. Just Horror Nights. Let's try Horror Nights.
HHN and stuff.
Yep, it's Horror Nights, which is the official Universal Studios Hollywood, has announced HHN Forever. No, that was in honor of The Mess. All right.
HHN Hollywood Tweets. HHN Hollywood Tweets is an Instagram page. It's called.
That is. I'm on their official page, so these are like the official announcements, and then other pages would share from this. So The Haunting of Hill House, obviously. The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I have literally no interest in watching those movies.
The Exorcist.
Oh, The Exorcist, nice.
Pandora's Box is coming back. That's cool.
I heard Pandora's Box is coming back. I liked them in 2019.
What kind of mess? 2020, just all 2020. We call it The Mess because YouTube doesn't allow us talking about certain things. Yes. Halloween 4 again. I don't know why Halloween 4. I think it's just like they're bringing everything back because they couldn't make new things, really. Like, they're making some new things, but it's a lot of
Halloween 4, was that underwater a few years ago? Like a year or two ago?
Underwater? No, it was behind Waterworld.
That Waterworld.
Yeah, it was behind Waterworld, and that was the maze that my boyfriend worked when I was a wolf on the street before we even met.
Oh my god, your boyfriend was a Scareactor too?
He was not a Scareactor, he was a light tech.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he would go through the maze. Really cool. He would do the like button press, be like, turn on the trigger, I need to test this. So he would go through and be like, pop that all the time, making sure everything was good. Oh, thank you for the pearls leaks. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. But yeah, he was a light tech in the Halloween maze, making sure that everything is lit up and sound cues working, all that stuff. but I was scaring on the street, and we didn't know this until after we already started talking, and we added each other on Facebook, and he had to scroll quite a ways to see my posts about Halloween Horror Nights, but he was like, I didn't know you worked Halloween Horror Nights. I was like, it's because I never mentioned it. Why are you stalking me, bro? And why are you talking to me about stalking me? Don't you know the etiquette? You can stalk all you want, but you never talk about what you find. Like, what the hell, man?
Oh my god.
I literally just gave you my Facebook. I don't know you. And then almost 2.5 years later. So, Terror Tram is the ultimate purge. That was the most recent announcement just 2 days ago.
That's cool. I've seen the Purge movies.
They love bringing the Purge back. I would love to be a Purge person on Terror Tram. That would be cool. That might be where I was cast too. I don't know, because I did work a small Purge maze in 2017 for like a couple days, and everyone seemed to really like me there. I don't know, but I have some stories from that.
That's cool. Oh, that's cool. I remember, I think it was 2018. I walked through the Purge maze, and there was a girl getting her throat slit, and they like sprayed the water on you, and I was literally so disturbed by that. I loved it so much. I was like, wow!
Yeah.
It was great.
I hate that. I love spraying people with those tricks. I hate being sprayed myself, not because it's like, oh, it's blood and it's on me and oh, gross. There is like a little second of that every once in a while where I'm like, oh, no, it's just water. It's fine. But I'm more scared about the water. I'm scared about the quality of water. I don't know where they're getting that water, and I know it's probably not safe to have squirted in my eye. But thanks for that, Scareactor.
Monica Braun it in the Purge. Oh yeah, I know her. I think she's so awesome. She makes movies for her YouTube.
Who?
And I think she's so cool. I want to be her friend. This girl, Monica Bryan.
Oh, her! Oh, yeah, she won Scareactor of the Year. She was in Us maze in 2019.
Yes. I have no idea if she knows who I am. But
well, I can introduce you. Like, she was in my zone in 2018. She was one of the dolls. She was one of the come to life voodoo dolls. So I was friends with her through that, and then also she went to college with my boyfriend, so we knew her individually, and then we started dating, and then found her at Universal, and we were like, hey.
So cool.
And she was like, I know both of you, but not like together. You're together. Oh, that's interesting.
That's so cool. I follow her on social media, like we follow each other. She posts cool movies, and
she's
I think
awesome, very talented.
I think she's in Wong Squad for Day Offs. Like, I feel like I've seen her around Potter, but she's cool.
She's actually I don't know if she's a manager or something. She's like a higher up wizard at in Hogwarts. So, and that's where we ran into her as a couple.
Cool. That's cute. Okay, what other mazes are going on this season?
That's all they announced so far.
Oh, that's cool. Are those all the mazes? I have no idea how many mazes are they changing.
They're probably going to be more. I don't know, actually, because this year's different. I don't know if they're going to be downsizing in any way, but I feel like they still got at least a few more announcements, because I feel like they're going to be saving the best for last. And I'm sorry, I love Purge, I love Terror Tram, but that's not going to be the best for last. Oh, I heard they're also bringing the fire towers back.
Oh, I think I saw that on some sort of social media. I like Haunting a Hill House so much. That's the best. Why is it not for last? That's my question.
Because it depends on how much money they're spending on the maze, and how much promotion that they're being hired to promote for the maze.
Somebody says it's probably everything for year. That's cool. I'm excited.
I really hope that there's a day that I can go and see everyone, and I will splurge and get whatever the equivalent, the express pass or whatever it is. Tip for people going through Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know when I'm putting this YouTube video on, and I wish I was live so that people would actually hear it in the moment, because all of this is going to be irrelevant by the time this is up. I'm sorry. We're talking old news now, because today it's mid-August, okay? Just so you know, it's mid-August right now. You're not seeing this until probably October, all right? Mazes are already up, and you've probably already seen Halloween Horror Nights, but as of right now, we don't know what's going on, and I sure hope that I get to go through. Tip, is get the express pass if you can, if you only have the one day. If you can splurge on a frequent fear pass and you want to go for multiple days, do that. That's how you're going to see the whole park if you want. But if you're only there for one day and you want to see as many mazes as you can, get the express pass, fast pass, whatever it's called for that. Because those lines are going to be like 2 hours long, maybe, depending on the maze.
That's what you could do. Honestly, yeah. I feel like those full-on passes are usually just at any situation.
Yeah, it depends on the maze, because Stranger Things never really went down below 2 hour wait.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there were Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a long one.
Yeah, it was like 75 minutes once, and I was like, this is the best it's gonna get. I guess I'll wait in line.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess that's possible. Somebody says they announced the full lineup. So that
Oh.
might be the full lineup.
Oh. If that's the full
no idea.
lineup, then okay. Okay. I really like Pandora's
Is that
Box
it?
because that's an original concept.
Yeah.
They don't do a whole lot of those. They're usually based off of movies. Nothing wrong with that. That's what Universal's known for, but I like original ideas too.
The original mazes are cool. I really like Pandora's Box, and then Holidays in Hell was last year, and I liked it. It's cool.
So many people loved
Hold on.
Holidays in Hell, and I agree. That was a great maze. I hardly remember it though, thanks to my brain.
I remember it. I remember it very well.
You remember it very well. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it's because she was in it.
Yeah, it's not a secret. It's not a secret at all. I think. I don't know. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but I don't think it's a secret.
No, I don't think you'll get in trouble because this is after the fact and you're not revealing any behind the scenes stuff, and it is so far past when they did that maze even. So I hope we won't get in trouble because let me say this. I've shared a lot of stories of myself as a wolf. I shared pictures and videos of me as the wolf in 2018. So many story times on TikTok, and I still got cast this year. So I think we're okay.
My live just ended.
Oh no.
Anyway, I'm really, yeah. I think I'm most excited about Hill House and Bride of Frankenstein.
I want to see what they do with Bride of Frankenstein, especially with the like vampire and the werewolf that was revealed. Let me see if I can find that on TikTok and send it to you. Because I think you specifically would very much enjoy this. And I'm pretty sure I favorited it. Let me see if I could find. Yeah. And it was recent. So I was able to find it right away. And I know I follow you. So pop up. There we go. Send. Boom. Gotcha. Sent it. Don't know who this person is, but they posted this and I appreciate it. All these comments are like, so we getting Monster High?
What's wrong with Monster High? I don't know anything about Monster High.
So basically, Monster High grown up. So me, that is me. I am Monster High grown up. I love Monster High. That's my non-guilty pleasure. It used to be my guilty pleasure, but then I stopped caring what people think about me, and so it became my non-guilty pleasure. Yeah.
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah. It's animated.
Should I watch it? Is it good?
It's really just like a bunch of movies. They used to have it on Netflix. I don't know where you could find them now.
Cool.
But it's
I'm logging in.
like it's for a certain crowd, and I guess I'm part of the certain crowd.
Oh my god, I'm watching this. I'm so excited. I don't have to watch this now. Yeah. Well, I started. I feel like I don't have as many stories that I feel like I can't share my stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I would get in trouble for sharing my stories.
And you don't have to. That's the beauty of these talks is like, yeah, the premise is that we share stories. If you don't want to share stories, I could share my own stories because I've already shared them on TikTok. So if I was going to get in trouble, I would have gotten in trouble by now.
True.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's fine. Or we could just keep chatting about other stuff. Like, I say, oh, story times and talking about scare acting, but sometimes some people just want to talk horror in general, and I'm totally fine with it.
I could totally talk horror in general. I've been reading so many horror books lately.
Send me a
It's
list of
great.
recommendations because I have a ton of books that I still need to read, but not a lot of them are horror, and I really miss horror. Like, I love Stephen King, but the last one I read was, I think, Salem's Lot, and that was so long ago.
Okay, so like I've only read 2 of Stephen King's books, and one of them was his memoir
Oh,
and slash his like guide on writing, and I was like, that's so cool. I'm enjoying it. And I read Salem's Lot. It was like his second. It was like one of his first books.
Yeah.
I hated it so much. I don't think it was scary at all. And I thought it was so poorly written and stupid and sexist. And I was like, maybe Stephen King is not for me. And I found that a lot of my favorite books are written by women. But so just my stack. I mean, I like Gothic literature, and so I think Haunting of Hill House is considered Gothic literature.
okay.
That's like the same realm as like Frankenstein and stuff. It's kind of a slow burn. Carmilla is the original Dracula, in my opinion. It came out before Dracula. It's a novella published in the 1800s about queer vampires. So some say it inspired Dracula. I don't know, but it came first. Super easy to read too. It's like it's less than 200 pages.
Oh, nice.
The Girl with All the Gifts is like my favorite zombie book.
Nice. Okay.
It's so
I'm not
freaking
going to
cool.
remember any of these other than Haunting of Hill House because we've been saying that a lot. But yeah, just like shoot me a message. I probably won't buy them anytime soon, and I'll probably forget about this if I'm completely honest because I have no money right now. Woo!
Libraries.
Huh?
Libraries.
Yeah, I would go to libraries, but I'm scared of the mess right now and
That's true.
touching
You know, fun
things.
fact, I collect books. I have hundreds of books, I think. And all of them are thrifted. Almost all of them are thrifted. So I really very rarely pay full price for books.
My favorite thing to do is there's this ghost town that I used to vacation at every year growing up. And it's like super unplugged. Like there's no TV in any of the rooms or anything like that. And then the stuff that you can do around town is like they have a candy shop where you can see them making the candy from scratch, and you can make your own candles. And there's this bookshop, and I always love going in there and seeing what kind of books they have. And it's usually like a historic book in some way, some sort of nonfiction. But you know, they got some like classic looking stuff, and I love buying books from there specifically because it just has this old timey feel to it. I love it.
I love that. I love that so much.
And they have a theater and they have plays there. I was originally like my dream used to be an actor in that specific rep and perform at that specific theater, but I wouldn't be able to go because it was like a 3+ hour drive just to get there. So I was like,
that's really cool though. That's like a really cool, it's a cool goal. You know?
I highly recommend it. And they dress up everything for Christmas time and all that, and it's fun. It's fun. They do fun things. It's like you have to really be into that kind of stuff. If you're not, you know, just keep an open mind. It's where I hurt my ankle and it never got better. So memories live on.
Memories of my ankle pain.
Of my ankle pain. And it's a funny story though. I'll share it real quick, but they have these like climbable rocks. They're this huge rock formation. I don't think you're meant to climb up them necessarily, but you can. And the guy I was dating at the time wanted to climb up them and have like a picnic up on the rocks. I was like, oh, that's romantic and that's nice and stuff. So he, being Mr. Monkey Man, goes up on top like real quick. And he's super tall too. So it was like 1, 2 and he's up there. But it was like, it's a decent size. It's like 10 foot. I could be totally wrong, but in my memory, it's like at least 10 feet tall of a rock. So I'm trying to find my footing, climbing up, all this fun stuff. This is the first round of doing this. First round, I did actually make it on top, but we did it a second time. That's where I hurt my ankle. But this is a side story to this. That's funny and cute. So I almost get to the top, but it's like this big gap, and there's nowhere I could put my footing, and I'm not tall enough to just like step up there. So he's like grabbing my arms, going like, you could do this, you could do this. I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta go around somehow. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. He's like, you could do this. I'm like, I don't know. And as we're doing this, this old lady walks by us and goes, you can do it. I was
Oh
like,
my god!
thank you. And so I told him, like, let go. And he was like, what? Let go. I'm stubborn and I will do this. He's like, okay, I don't want you to fall. Famous last words. I didn't fall this time, but I did later. Spoilers. So I got up there and we had our picnic, and that was that part of the story. But as we're up there having our picnic, the old lady walks by again. She's like, I told you can do it.
Oh my god!
It just keeps going. Oh, it was the funniest, cutest thing. So later in that date, like we spent the whole day there. Later in that date, he was like, I want to climb up the rocks again and have like a dinner picnic of sorts. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He climbs up like freaking monkey man again. I go up halfway and I realize my footing's off. Let's go back down, all the way back down, regain my footing, try again. As I'm climbing down slowly, my brain, this is the charge and die brain, you know? So I'm like, go down slowly, you don't want to hurt yourself, and this is close enough, I could jump from here. Whee! And I landed on either a root or a rock or something that was covered by a bunch of leaves, and my ankle went. Ugh.
Oh god.
And he calls down to me. He's like, "Are you okay?" And in my head, I answered, "Yeah, I'm fine. I think. I don't know." But apparently, what came out of my mouth was, I don't remember feeling that much pain at first, but it definitely like snuck up on me later. Keep in mind, we're like 2 hours away from anyone that we know, and I drove us, and so it was my car, and we just started dating, so I didn't know what his like driving skills were like or anything, but it was like an emergency situation. So he jumps down from the top.
Oh my god!
And lands next to me, and he's very sweet and concerned about me. He's like, oh my god. And he was into sports medicine and stuff, so he was able to like carry me off to the side and try and get stuff. But me trying to diffuse a situation with humor, we were planning on getting shaved ice after that anyway. So I'm just like, can we get that shaved ice now? And he goes, ice, right, ice. And he like runs off to get ice. I'm like, no, to eat, not, okay, well, he's gone. Cool. And he comes back with ice. I ice it. He carries me to the car. He drives the car back to his dad's place. His dad's a hospice doctor. Doctor. And so he takes a look at my ankle and wraps it for me and gives me my then boyfriend's old crutches that happened to be the right size for me. And I was on crutches for weeks. And he said to me, you should have broken it, because if you broke it, it would have healed better than what it is now.
I've heard that like a break can heal better than a sprain.
Yeah, and it was like the worst kind of sprain I could have. So it still hurts to this day. Yay. It does bug me every once in a while, but I just ice it, and I wear compression socks every once in a while. Compression socks help so much when you're scaring, by the way. I highly recommend them. Instead of going to the nurse or wherever they have to get wrapped, which I also highly recommend, you could buy your own compression socks so that you're not wasting a lot of wrapping and saving time and everything. So
that's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah, I
should look into that.
I started doing that when I was really stubborn at first when I started scaring. I'm like, no, I'm young and healthy and I don't need to get wrapped. And so in 2017, I never got wrapped. Never. And then in 2018, because of my ankle and I was out on the streets and I was walking everywhere, and also I kind of got in the way of a stilt walker and I re-sprained that same ankle. Oopsie poopsie. So I started to get my ankles wrapped at least. And it was amazing. It helped so much. I was like, wow, I feel so stable now. And I need to do this every day? No. So I went out to Rite Aid and I bought a compression sock so I could save time and their money, I guess, wasting wraps on me.
Yeah, I feel like that is a lot of wrap. But they encourage you to like reuse the wraps, I think.
You can, but I was getting really sweaty.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
I would wrap. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh, get out of here. I would wrap my ankles, both my ankles and both my knees. And then if my elbow started hurting, maybe my elbow too, but I tend to not need that one as much. Just ankles and knees, because I'm an old woman now. Scorned by the world.
Oh man, I'm getting. I think I started rapping in 2019. I can't remember what I rapped. I feel like probably my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I was rapping my ankles. I don't think I was rapping anything else. Maybe one of my wrists. I don't know. Yeah, I am the worst memory, man. I swear.
It's totally fine because
Yeah.
it's kind of like trauma in a way. If you had a really bad year and you just want to forget about it, which isn't always the case.
Yeah.
Like you could have an amazing year and yet still forget. I am going to write down funny stuff that happens to me this year, and I will make sure I have friends coming through to document through pictures and videos me scaring because I need content for TikTok. Dang it.
That's I should write down funny things. Yeah, that's a good idea. Feel that. I feel that.
Just keep a journal.
I want to come in.
This thing happened.
I want someone to come in and like a picture of me on set and be like, I'm kidding. I won't pose. Just scare it.
There would be no guessing this year. I have no mask. I just have makeup and my own hair, I think. I don't know if they're going to put me in a wig even. Like, you'll know it's me. Especially because I can use my voice and I'll go, it's me!
Yeah, probably guys could talk there. I've been to Not Scary once on the day that, like, you know, it doesn't overlap.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome. And I thought it was so cool. There were bungees and sliders.
Mm-hmm.
And people would come up and, like, talk to you behind you. It was really freaking... I remember there was a guy who was, like, an octopus or something. I was like, oh my god, it's Cthulhu. And he goes up to me, he goes, ah, Cthulhu! And I was like, damn, I'm sorry, Cthulhu, I didn't mean it. And then people would come in, like, whisper behind you, and I'm like, what the So...
Yeah, when you can talk, there's just so much power, and a lot of people just use it to be funny more than anything else. I remember the first time going to Knott's, I was going to Knott's Scary Farm. I didn't even know it was a theme park, honest to God. I thought it was like Haunted Hayride or something. I've never even been on a Haunted Hayride, so I don't even know if that's an accurate comparison, but I thought it was a place where you picked berries. I didn't know it was a theme park. All right, and so
funny.
I show up and I see
Like,
roller coasters, and I was like, what is this place? And so I go in and I see everything decked out for the haunt, and I'm so excited. And I go to the first one, which is the pumpkin eater maze, like to the right when you enter. And I go in and I had no idea what the rules were of this haunt or anything, literally knowing nothing. And I go in, the first thing I hear is like a Scareactor talking like in the distance or something. And I say to my friend that I was going through it with, they're allowed to talk here? And then as I said that, from around the corner, hidden, a Scareactor pops up right next to me and goes, yeah, we can talk. I go,
that's amazing.
Thank you.
They get really creative. They get really creative there. There was one year, I only went one year, there was a maze there that had like some sort of light effect and fog, so it looked and felt like you were walking waist deep in water, and then there were Scarecrows popping up from underneath, and that was the coolest thing ever. And then there's like that haunted house one with flashlights, where they give you flashlights and then they go on and off, and I thought those were just completely genius, and just, it was so cool, honestly.
Did you go through the one where you shoot the zombies?
Yes. One of the guys who was like not a zombie, but like I guess a survivor, locked me in one of the fake porta potties. I was like,
oh no!
What am I doing in here?
Oh man!
I mean, it was open, but he lured me into it, and I was like, I don't think this is where I'm supposed to.
Nope.
So he locked.
But I love.
I think my friend told me I was a zombie there. So yeah, I was in a fake porta potty.
Oh wow! I love the freedom as a Scareactor I have at Knott's more so than Halloween Horror Nights, but also it kind of worries me that we're not unionized, you know, and that's fine. I've worked non-union gigs before, but you know, it just feels more secure being in a union. But
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth, because the only time I really spoke as characters were crazy clowns mainly, and I didn't get cast in Carnival. And I really wanted to, and I told them, like, I would love to be a crazy clown. But everyone wants to be a crazy clown. I feel like you're not allowed to be a crazy clown until you pay your dues. And I already am skipping the paying my dues part because I guess no one gets cast in a scare zone their first year, or at least it's very, very rare, let alone the part I got. Because whenever I would go to, like, my costume fitting or, like, paper processing meetings or anything like that, they always were like, oh, So, how'd you do in this role last year? Like, I wasn't here last year. This is literally my first year. I didn't even know. I've never gone to Knott's in the daytime other than maybe once, and that was like last week. So,
Oh my god.
I don't know this area at all. I didn't know where to park. Like, I know nothing, sir. So they were like, what? You never worked here, but you have this part in this scare. That's a big deal because you're in a show and stuff. They would just like say how big a deal it is, and I was like, you're making me nervous now. Why am I nervous?
God, no, you're gonna do great.
I've been
You're a scare actor.
I've been scare acting for years, but now it's like I have to live up to a certain reputation that I now seem to have. I don't know. Like, I've never been this type of character before. If it was a type of character I've worked before, if it was like a beast character, which is like my bread and butter other than Crazy Clown,
Yeah.
I would feel so good. But this one, it's like, yeah, I can speak, but I don't know what to say. I've never been this character.
I don't know what to say. Oh my god. Yo, rawr.
I need
Just
to,
like that.
I need to learn
Rawr.
Latin. No, I'm not a monster though. That's the thing. It's like if I were a monster, I could deal with that. That's totally fine. I could make a noise. I could do gross sound effects. Like, that's fine. But I'm a person. Like, I'm playing a person, and I'm giving way too many hints, but I don't know what to say. I think I need to learn Latin. Like, I don't know.
You know what? I want to learn Latin. Let's go into it together. Well, Duolingo, is that an app?
Duolingo is an app. I don't know if Latin is one of the languages. Let's look it up.
Imagine.
I have not used my Duolingo in so long, and the owl thing is so sad at me.
I have no idea what that means, but if there's an owl that interacts with
The
you
little
and then gets
mascot.
sad-
Yeah, the mascot for Duolingo is like this green owl character. I have so many courses that I just do not use. I doubt Latin is one of them because, like, Klingon! They have Klingon! Oh, they do have Latin.
but they don't have Latin. Okay, but they do have Latin.
They do have.
have to
I was gonna
remove
say
that.
like they have Klingon, but not Latin. No, they have Latin. It's just under it. Hi, Valerian. I don't know how to pronounce it, but oh my god, Navajo. No way. They have so many
That's
new
cool.
languages. It used to be very limited. Wow.
There's one phrase I like in Latin. I don't know how to pronounce it though. It's like Manu entiam ere pernius. It's like art is long, but life is short. And I like that. And I want to learn Latin. And there's an owl that's supposed to help me learn Latin, apparently.
It's really just their mascot to have like a cute little character.
An
as
owl
they...
is going to be teaching me Latin.
An owl will be teaching you Latin.
That's what I
And it's
want.
green. It's a green owl teaching you
And
Latin.
it's going to teach me Klingon and Latin. Saying hello to me.
Yeah. You're signing up for Duolingo right now. I love that.
It's going to teach me Latin, man. This owl's going to teach me Latin.
I've signed
I'll
up
do
for
it.
so many courses and I haven't like been using the app at all because honestly, it's not my favorite way of learning a new language, but it's something. It's better than nothing. It's not going to teach you how to be fluent, but it'll at least teach you some vocab, maybe. I don't know. We're way off topic from horror now, but
Like,
I want to learn certain phrases in Latin just to freak people out. Ooh, I should make them really funny, but also kind of weird and crazy so that if anyone who knows Latin they'll know what I'm saying and laugh. Yeah.
literally love somebody to walk through your maze or scare zone, listen to you say some nonsense in Latin, and go like, "Wow, I understood that. I speak Latin." I would literally die if that happened. If that happens, you need to tell me.
I will
That
tell the
would be
world through
amazing.
TikTok. You better believe it, because that
Maybe
would
I'll
that
do
would
that
be a
first
story time
someday.
for sure. I'm gonna say like in Latin, I'll say random things like, "I've been working a very long shift now. My feet hurt. I want ice cream."
Oh
And
my
then
god!
something
Can
else.
I tell you a very funny story about ice cream actually that
Please.
happened to me today? I have a current hyperfixation. I have ADHD. I have a current food hyperfixation
Okay.
on this ice cream from Wanderlust. It's ube flavored ice cream. Ube malted.
Oh, I
French
love
fries.
ube. Yeah.
And I've been going every day. Okay, started off with like 2 half scoops, right? Like of each flavor. Then it just became just 1 big scoop of the ube, and then it became 2 big scoops of the ube, and it just kept getting more and more. And then I went like 4 days in a row this week. And then yesterday I decided, well, I keep getting it, and I'm gonna get a pint.
Good for you.
I get the pints. I ate the whole pint yesterday. The day I got it, I ate it. I went back today. I was like, I need to get some more. I'm gonna get 2 this time.
Oh man.
And they're gonna know. They're gonna know that I had a whole pint of ice cream yesterday. They're gonna know I've been in here every day for like 4 days straight. They're gonna know that I have an ice cream problem. And I walked in, and I was the only one there, and there was like 4 of them, and I was like, they all know! And
That's when you start wearing different wigs and doing your makeup all different.
You're right. And then I was like, I'll take 2 pints of ube, please. And I walked out, and I had my ice cream, and I ate half of one already. It's fine. I'm healthy. I'm like, I just ate it.
See, I've been doing the same thing, but with chips and dip lately.
Nice. What kind of dip?
But I'm trying to lose weight. Like, I've been tracking my calorie count and everything, trying to be really healthy. But just 2 days ago, I had this really strong craving for chips and dip again. And if anyone knows me, they know I'm a sucker for chips and dip. Like, I'm addicted. This is my weakness. This is my weak point. Chips and dip.
What kind of, like, tortilla? Like tortilla chips?
No,
Like
it's like
chips?
Lay's potato chips with like daisy sour cream and French onion dip mix.
Oh, okay, like classic American chips and dip.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
I was like, what are we talking about? Clear dip?
Well, it started with like tortilla chips and salsa one night. I was just like, we have chips and salsa, and I just need a snack after work, so I did some of that. Couldn't have too much of it because I'm allergic to peppers and there were jalapenos in it. So that didn't work out too well. And then the next day I'm like, you know what? I had a bad day and I need comfort food, and I'm going to stop by the store and pick up the proper fixings for my chips and dip, because we go to Aldi and Aldi has like the off-brand stuff and it's fine, but it's not my chips and dip that I grew up on.
Yeah.
Like the stuff I would have for a meal essentially. So I got the proper fixins for it. I came home and I counted it, you know, I was like 2 tablespoons and I counted like 19 chips, did the gram count with a food scale and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm still within my calorie count, still in a deficit. That's fine. Had that. Yesterday I was like, I didn't have much for breakfast. I didn't have much for lunch. I still have like a buffer of 800 calories and I didn't thaw any protein. I don't have time to cook. Chips and dip for a meal, and I just had like a bowl of dip and a lot of chips, and I was like,
oh my god, the whole bowl.
I went down a bad path again. Oh no.
You know, I eat somehow very healthy, yet when I get hyperfixations, I become just so unhealthy.
Same. I didn't even know, like, I haven't been properly diagnosed, and I don't want to be one of those people that like self-diagnoses themselves with ADHD, but honestly, I'll be watching videos at work or something and they'll pop up like, do you have ADHD? Here are some symptoms. Literally me, every single one. And I'm like, I can't go by a YouTube video. So like doing my own research. Right. And so I'm on this rabbit hole of doing research on ADHD for 2 hours. And then that's when I learn I might be hyperfixating on learning about ADHD.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's hilarious and so bad. I was diagnosed when I was like a kid, but then like we ignored the diagnosis and then I forgot, and then I started seeing these videos and I was like, wait a minute, I actually think I do have ADHD. I think I remember being diagnosed. And then I texted my parents and they're like, yeah, you have ADHD. And then I remembered being diagnosed. And then I was like, glad we just ignored it. And then I started researching it last year, and I realized that all the things that I actually thought made me bipolar, because I was diagnosed with being bipolar at 16. I realized all the things that I thought that my therapist also thought was bipolar, like hypomanic episodes, were just hyperfixations. And then I realized I don't think I'm bipolar. I just have ADHD, and that explains why I eat the same thing why I get so fixated on like food and I'll eat the same thing every day for every meal for like a week straight. Why I get hyperfixated on things and I'll play like bass every day for like 3 weeks and then just not touch it for months.
Same.
And I
Me
used
and
to think
cosplay.
hypomania.
Yeah.
Yes, but like, yeah. I mean, you know yourself pretty well. I mean, you should definitely like get a diagnosis, but like,
Yeah,
you
I
know
want to
yourself
get it
pretty well,
properly
you know,
diagnosed, but like something definitely clicked in me when I started reading all that. I'm like, I can think of multiple occasions where that fit me to a T,
right.
and it was every single one, and I was like, freaking hell, I might be like this. But I come home, and it was like either that or being autistic, like just a little bit.
Okay, they have a lot of overlaps, and I often wonder if I was misdiagnosed, but also I think you have both. Realistically, like, it's hard to say. You know yourself pretty well, and at least you know the realm of like your possible diagnosis.
I think it's more so ADHD, but there were definitely quite a few on the autistic scale, like check box. But what was funny was like I came home one day and my boyfriend noticed like something was on my mind. He was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, I don't know. I think I just like discovered something about myself that makes so much sense, but I'm still unsure." And he's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "I think I might either be a little autistic or have ADHD." And his face was just like, "What?" And I'm like, "I know it's a bomb drop, but this is what I've been dealing with for the last week as I'm hyper fixating on it. And it's all I can think about. And I'm doing all this research and all these things. And it's like, I relate so hard to this. Or is it just because they're vague enough where it could fit most anybody? Or is it just me? I don't know." And so I'm like going on this rant with him. And he just stops me and goes, "I don't think you're autistic, but you know yourself better than anyone else. ADHD though, that might be it." I was
Well,
like,
realistically, a lot of the symptoms do overlap, and
yeah.
I think that what we are shown as autistic in media is very much so like misleading. Like one of my closest best friends, he's autistic, and there's really no such thing as like a little bit autistic. You just are autistic, and that looks so different for everybody.
It's
But,
like
you know what I'm saying?
a
Like, you and I could
different
be
different symptoms for everyone, right?
yeah, different symptoms. It is a spectrum, like, you know what I'm saying. But you and I could be autistic easily, and the moment you are diagnosed, this is what autism looks like in this person. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you could easily be autistic as well as you could easily be have ADHD. Realistically, like I think there's so much overlap, and it's really hard, and that's you know what professionals are for.
Yeah.
But I think that like a lot of people don't understand what autism looks like. And I don't think people actually understand what ADHD is. People think ADHD is just like, you know, shaking your leg and
being like kind of twitchy and like neat fidgeting a lot. Yeah.
Right. And I had a person who's not really my friend anymore who's like, yeah, I'm like really quirky, like I can't concentrate, like I have ADD. And I'm like, oh, I told you before, ADD doesn't exist anymore. It's just ADHD. But she still continues to use ADD. But that's not a huge deal. But like a lot of people just think ADHD is not being able to concentrate. And it's essentially the difference between feeling anxious and having anxiety. You could have trouble concentrating. Everybody does at some point. And everybody experiences anxiety. But being anxious and having anxiety are two different things.
Yep.
I think people don't realize that ADHD is a severe, not severe, it's an intense thing. You know, our brains are wired differently. It's not just I can't concentrate and I'm like hyper. Like I literally experience things very differently. I am literally atypical. And it's like I can concentrate on things, but I just like lack a lot of chemicals in my brain, and I just experience things differently. I hyperfixate. I forget things. I have a lot of symptoms that overlap with autism, and realistically, I think people don't understand or treat ADHD as well. You know what I'm saying? Because when I explain to people that I am the way I am because I have ADHD, and I would really like their understanding, they still don't like respect my diagnosis or essentially, you know, what's going on with me. But it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for me to have like some normal jobs because I just can't function like that. But yeah, people don't like take ADHD seriously, and I think people don't understand what autism looks like.
Especially in women, there's very few studies in women. We are very off topic now, and I want to bring you a little bit back because we are running out of time. Although this is very fascinating conversation, and like we're learning a lot about each other, and you're teaching me a lot about what could possibly be not wrong with me, but different with me. I don't know. I'm still me. It's still the same me. I would just understand it better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's understanding.
Like literally nothing will change other than I'm gonna feel more like my aha moment of like, oh, I wish I'd known this sooner, so I know how to like navigate around this a little better. That makes so much sense. But bringing it back to scare acting, I think that does help a lot in scare acting, because I meet so many interesting people, and I feel like there's this stigma with scare actors that they're all crazy in order to want to be a scare actor, and we're not. Like, we're all pretty normal, actually. If you meet...
We're weird.
We're weird. We're very weird to have this interest. We're very weird. Stay away from us. But it's like one of those things where you learn going and scare acting for the first time, where you meet everyone and you have this expectation of like, oh my God, they're gonna be so like grunge and tattooed and like piercings, and they're gonna be so like vulgar and love horror and goth stuff, and you go in and you're meeting like this this one person, and they're just like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, nice to meet you. And they're like, whoa, you're so different than I thought you were. Yeah, and then the person puts the makeup or mask on and gets in character, and they're like a completely different being. It's amazing to see the switch.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Yeah,
we're just a bunch of weirdos who like to scare. That's it.
It's so interesting. I feel like the three main types of people who scare act are actors, dancers, and then just horror fans. I feel like those are the main three.
I think so.
Only three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see more dancers. I don't know a whole lot of dancers. Like I know quite a few dancers, but it's definitely more actors, and I think that's because we're in LA, so we're getting a lot of actors. When I was up in San Francisco scaring, it was mainly the horror fans who were volunteering their time, because that's just what they like to do. Yeah,
that makes perfect sense. I feel like HHN, which is my only haunt.
Yeah,
I feel like it is actors who like horror. I feel like they mix together. Some of them are just horror fans.
A lot of them that I interviewed didn't like horror starting off before scaring. Some of them were so scared going in first, and then they realized the behind the scenes, and once like the magic is gone kind of thing, they're not as scared anymore. So it's like kind of a way of combating that fear, which I find fascinating, because I'm a fan of horror. Cool. I'm not like a fanatic with horror, and I feel like I could be if I had the time and patience to like sit and watch movies. This is another reason why I think I have ADHD, because like I can't just sit and do one thing.
It's hard.
Yeah, I always told people, if you want me to see a movie, or if I want to see a movie, you need to sit next to me and watch it with me, because that way I won't go and like do dishes and then miss an important part or something. Because I'll feel rude doing that. Versus if I'm alone and then I'm like, oh, I need popcorn. No, I need to finish doing this dish.
I pause a lot. I like pause a lot.
Or like I'll get on my phone and then I'll realize I missed so much stuff.
Oh God, I feel that when I'm with people I usually watch with my friend Joseph, because like I won't, because I don't want to pause it with him. But we watch online. But yeah, when I'm by myself, like I pause and stuff. But I will say this. After learning my ADHD diagnosis, I've like looked up those things on like how to like read with ADHD and like how to finish movies, and now I'm on my 26th book of the year. So,
nice, congrats!
Just knowing ways around your diagnosis is like really, really helpful. But I feel that. Also, quick side note before I forget, Fear Street, amazing. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's amazing. We should talk about it. But
what is it?
We're running out of time. Have you seen Fear Street?
No.
So like
I think we talked about this last time too a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just freaking out about it still.
Like
it's so good. But like what you're saying about like a lot of scare actors not liking horror at first, I feel like I was kind of teetering like, oh, horror's kind of interesting. Like I love Buffy. And like realistically, I think I'm just picky, because like newer horror stuff like Hill House and Fear Street, like I'm becoming obsessed with it. Like I love these movies. You know what I'm saying? Like these are my horror movies. I don't really like the old, like Halloween and stuff like that.
And that's fine. Yeah, Fear Street's great.
Should check it out. Just want to say that I think it's amazing, spectacular.
Sweet. I need to look it up whenever I have time, which is not going to happen anytime soon. Oh my God, I'm so busy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, like to each their own. Everyone has their own kind of differences. Every horror movie's different, and a lot of people like slasher movies. I don't. I prefer psychological thrillers. Everyone has their preference. And I love horror. I just haven't had a lot of experience watching the classic movies or something. So
Right. I need to watch
yeah.
the too.
I definitely watched more classics trying to research before acting at Halloween Horror Nights. Here's another tip for you guys. If you are a character that is from something, watch that something. Understand the context of your character. I didn't watch Trick or Treat until halfway through my season. And I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be a sexy werewolf? Damn, I could have been like playing this so differently this whole time and having more fun with this. God damn it. So definitely understand the context of your character. And it was very clear either, I don't want to call anyone out because I don't know them specifically and I don't want to bash anyone's acting necessarily because they're just having fun, you know? But I did see a couple of the Michael Myers in the Halloween maze who were not slow and like murdery, more like just like, I'm gonna pop out and scare you. And I was like, that's not Michael Myers though. You didn't see the movie, did you?
Michael Myers. But like that is true. Like you should definitely like know your role.
Know the kind of character you are. Even if it's not in a movie, you should know, ask for a reference at least. Because you didn't, if you created the character, that's on you. Go ham. Like, that's you. But if you're hired to be a character, a certain character, you are cast as this character, they had an idea for that character going into it. You need to ask them first, like, what inspired this role? What are some references you could give me so that I know how to act and how to look and everything for this?
Right.
Because you're hired to be a part. True. Be the part that they want you to be. That's very true. Mm-hmm.
Very good advice.
Yeah, I was acting in this like year-round. It wasn't like a haunt by any means, but there was it was like scary parts to it in a way. So scaring was a bit of it, but the first character that greets you going through this attraction, if you're a girl, she has this gorgeous purple like skirt suit and top hat and an umbrella, and her name is Madame Jules Simone. And when I first got hired, I didn't understand the character. I was like, am I like a show host and like presenting? And they were like, no, you are Willy Wonka mixed with a snake. And I was like, that is a very interesting combination there, but it gave me an idea for the character, and then I turned her into my default for characters. This was before I had it as a default. This is like the beginning of it. I turned her into a puppet, essentially. So the story was, she's a con artist. She tricks you all into going through the rest of this attraction, and she brings you essentially down to hell, and then you have to like go through all these stories and stuff. But she's the one who tricks you. Either she, or if a guy's playing, it's Colonel Jack Sanders, is that his name? I forgot what's the name. But Madame Jules Simone. So knowing the Willy Wonka mixed with a snake, I was like, yeah, I could slither around and stuff, but I would rather have the slow, calculated movements, and then every so often I would jitter or like stop myself.
That's so cool.
Like that. So when they entered, I'll do like a little bit of it just to explain it. This has nothing to do with anything we were talking about. I'm going on a really long tangent, but the point is like the references, right? So the Willy Wonka was the happy greeting. Welcome to what's going on. And then the snake is the fact that she's like trying to trick you, right? So when we began the show, we press a button, there's a spotlight on us, the doors open, and that's where the audience sees us for the first time. They see us bowing for the first time. When I greet them, I would lift my head, smile, I would take my umbrella, twirl it around, stick it down, and then go like up like this, and then present them in. We are not allowed to speak any words at this point. We're just leading them into our room. Once everyone's in the room, we close the doors, we go up these stairs to this wagon, which is our stage, and then we stare at them for a while until they're all silent. That's when we go, welcome to the And I didn't want to like give them freebies. Like, I guess I could say it, but I'm not saying anything bad about them because I loved working there. But the character, I would go in and out every once in a while of like I'm greeting and I'm so happy you're here. But then this might happen. But don't worry about that. Let's go over here. And every so often I would just like move my arm in a weird way, be like, "Hi, welcome," and to the point where they thought I was an animatronic. Don't know who was the idiot who thought that. Like I did my whole like welcome, and someone's like, "Is she an animatronic?" And I stopped the show and I was like, "You really think I'm an animatronic? I'm an animatronic? You think that's about me?"
Oh my god!
I'm addressing you. I'm looking you in the eye. Yes, I'm an animatronic. Anyway,
You scare me.
I got paid $5 in a show once because I called on a little girl. And it was her birthday. Like someone was like pointing at her because I had to call on a guest to like spin the wheel of misfortune. And God, so many stories. I'm so sorry. This is the last one, I swear. But like the dad was pointing at her, and there was a point. This is where I learned how to move in the dark. It's a very good skill to have if you're a scare actor, because some mazes are very, very dark, and if they go completely black, you know how to move in it so that you still get very close to a guest without touching them.
Oh, that's so cool. You turn the lights off, there's like a Scareactor in your face.
Oh yeah, I got really good at. I got this close to someone once.
So cool.
Yeah, my coworker unfortunately did not aim right once. Where he, in that same room, we had to say this line like, "You'll never know what'll happen in the dark," and then we press a button and it goes pitch black in the room. In that few seconds it goes black, we had to go down the stairs around in front of the guests, but like on the same level, and then just stand there, and then when the lights come on we're already there. Some of us that got really good at moving in the dark would go up to a certain guest and like lean in real close, and then when the lights came on we were in their face. I made people fall into other people. It was really fun. But yeah, my one coworker was like, "I see a kid, I'm gonna aim for the kid." So he gets down, just like aiming for the kid. The lights come on and it's just boobs in his face. And he was just a little bit off and got the mom instead. Yeah. She wasn't happy with that. The funniest part is he's gay. So he doesn't even want to be looking at the boobies. He just wanted to like scare the kid, but this kid was the same height, and he was like, "Yeah," and then boobs. He's like, "Wait, the kid's there." Anyway, to the man. It was just like so flustered. It was so funny. But yeah, that's really fun. But yeah, it does help. It does help to have a reference. Without the reference of like Willy Wonka mixed with a snake, I would have done the whole like game show host, which is not what they were going for.
Wait, no, it's good to know. It's good to know that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really funny. I'm still thinking about that. I always ask a lot of questions.
The best part is strobes. I'm sorry if you are you have epilepsy, but I love working with strobes when I'm used to them. If they
yourself.
Huh?
Because you could essentially teleport yourself.
Yes.
It's like they don't see you moving. It's like
I love strobes timed to a blackout. So if I know for a fact this strobe effect is going to start and it will go for 5 seconds and then it's going to be pitch black, I can time it so that I'll look confused, what's going on, and then the strobe starts and I'll do a back bend and like move like this in the strobe, and then I stop, stare at them, point at someone, and like go in to grab their face, and I time it perfectly so that right as I'm about to grab their face is when the blackout happens, so that they feel like I'm still coming through them, but I'm not.
Cool. I love walking through strobes as a guest.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I hate it when I'm not expecting it. Because I'm like, whoa, what's happening? And I don't know what I'm doing. But if I know, like, this strobe effect is going to happen, it's going to last this long, I can use that. I can use that, and it'll be a lot of fun to work with.
I'm so excited to see what's going on with me this upcoming year. I'm just so excited to scare again. I mean, nervous, but like
Same.
excited to be working. You know.
I'm just nervous. Like, this is what I do, and I've been doing it for years. That's true. But also, I haven't scared the last 2 years. So I'm really antsy to get back to it. I'm so excited, but I'm really nervous. It's a nervous thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's been
it is
years.
very nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not
Everyone thinks it's
excited.
like a super recent thing. It's like, what do you think happened last year? I didn't scare last year. I know a lot of people who did scare, but I was nervous about the mess. I wasn't going to put myself out there. I'm sorry. I take my health as a priority over scaring.
Yeah.
Like, to each their
Same.
own. If you want to scare instead, that's fine if you want to risk it. But personally, I didn't want to risk it, so I didn't go out.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but it makes me nervous for this year, too.
Yeah, I'm very, very nervous.
But it'll be fine. We'll have fun. What's the thing you're most excited about for this year?
It's a very different role than I'm used to. It's gonna be a very new experience. Can't really say too much on it, but
Yeah.
it's very different than my other ones. And I'm really excited to see what this experience is going to be like. It's just a great lineup this year.
Yeah?
I'm really excited for Haunting a Hill House and Bride of Frankenstein.
Same.
I'm just excited. I'm so excited. Terror Tram is also exciting. Yeah, that's probably what I'm most excited about. What about you?
I'm excited to just... This is going to sound so dumb. Okay, the number one thing I'm excited about is I get to work a scare zone again. I'm so excited to do that. And it's a totally new character in a totally new area. I might have to do a show. That's pretty cool. Like, all that's cool. I just wanted a scare zone, and I got it, and I'm really excited about it. Because I didn't think I would, since I never worked this haunt before, and I know you usually have to pay your dues before getting cast in a scare zone. So I got really lucky. So I'm just excited to get back into it. In a more, like, not realistic, but selfish and has nothing to do with scaring way. I hope it helps me lose weight.
It's very physically demanding.
And yeah, I'm gonna be on my feet constantly walking for hours, and I need to try and keep up with food.
Yeah, you gotta fuel up.
Yep.
Gotta make sure you're getting your
High protein snacks and not a lot of sugar.
I cannot be eating tubs of ice cream when I start again.
You're gonna crash
I'm gonna
so
do it
hard. Reward yourself after the scaring event. You come home at like 2 a.m. You're like, ice cream.
Right. I actually just got my driver's license a couple weeks ago, which is gonna be great. Yeah, I ran a red light last time, and then I instantly failed. And then he was like, "You ran a red light," and I was like, "Oh,
That's
did
super
I?"
bad. Wow. Sammy,
Yeah.
no.
And then he's like, in my defense, nobody ever really taught me how to drive. I kind of had to like figure it out myself. But now I'm a really good driver. Don't worry.
Good.
I passed. In my defense, I was very nervous the second time. And then I was taking a left turn and didn't realize there was an arrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went against the arrow.
Oh.
And then he said, take a left. And I took a U-turn. He's like, why'd you take a U-turn? And I was like, what are you going to do? Fail me? But anyway, I got my license, which is why I can just buy tubs of ice cream now. But,
Oh no, the freedom. You're gonna learn real quick. It's not a good idea.
I know. Buying tubs of ice cream.
But now I want ice cream. God damn it, I'm so easily influenced when it comes to junk food. If anyone mentions the word pizza,
Insane.
I want it. I want the pizza. I want the ice cream. I want everything. And it's so bad. But I've been working so freaking hard. I'm so upset about this. I'm proud of my boyfriend. Don't get me wrong. This is a separate issue. But for the last 27 weeks, I've been tracking in a journal when I work out, what kind of workout I do, what I've been eating, what the calorie count and macro count is, all that stuff, making sure I'm within my macros, staying as consistent as possible, doing a mix of cardio, strength, getting enough sleep, making sure I'm not stressed, drinking enough water, I hired a nutritionist, all these things. And yay, I lost some weight. I've only lost maybe 4 pounds out of 20 that I need to lose. For 27 weeks, though, like, that's all I lost doing this for 27 weeks.
That's a lot of pounds.
Huh?
That's a lot of pounds, man. You should be proud of yourself.
I know I'm proud of the progress for sure, but also just like statistically with everything I've been doing, this is the only amount of weight I lost in that amount of time. It's not like I'm like, oh, I've been doing this for 2 weeks and I've only lost a pound. Like, no, this is 27 weeks. This is like half the year gone, and I've only lost 4 pounds when I should be way more than that with the amount of effort I'm giving. I can do no more than what I'm doing, so why am I not seeing progress? My boyfriend, though, he just started walking a little more, and he lost 15 pounds in a couple months.
Oh my god.
That was the only change he did, was just that he walked more at work. He still had a beer when he came home. He still, like, 8 tubs of ice cream that he bought for me, but I never got to have because he already ate them. Like, and I love my boyfriend so much, and I'm so happy that he lost that weight. But then on a selfish way, I'm like, why is it so hard for me though? What am I doing wrong? It's not that I'm doing anything wrong, but I'm also selfishly hoping, and I'm excited for this, going back scaring and having no excuse, I will be working out pretty much every day then. So I'm hoping to lose a little bit more weight through that.
I always end up losing like a couple pounds when I start HHN again, and I end up building a little bit more muscle mass, which is cool.
Yeah. When I was a wolf, I had the best buns ever. My glutes were amazing. They were snatched. They were.
Being a wolf was like so good for me as well. Life is strange, man. I just like, what a weird concept, you know?
I have a random question. It just popped in my head. Have you ever seen the show Dead Like Me?
No, I never even heard of it.
I believe it was filmed in Canada. I think it's a Canadian show, and I believe it's on Amazon Prime for free. I think you might enjoy it. It's about a girl who becomes a reaper, and it's just like her journey. And one of the main characters in it is Mandy Patinkin.
Who?
Have you seen Princess Bride?
I don't like Princess Bride.
You don't have to like Princess Bride, but to know him, he's the one who's the Spaniard. You killed my father, prepare to die guy. X-Files?
Cool.
I think X-Files? I don't know. But he's fantastic in it. It's like, there's some CGI that's just like, but I do enjoy this show. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but I recommend it.
Early 2000s stuff, I'm into it.
Yeah. But you'll also notice a lot of the same actors who were in Trick or Treat. There are 2 specifically.
Oh.
Yeah. 2 specific actors. Never interact in Dead Like Me, but do interact in Trick or Treat. I thought it was really funny.
Huh. Are they like on the poster?
For which one?
I have to check this out. I'm Dead Like Me. I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah.
That's
so
a cool concept.
Yeah, the sister in Dead Like Me and the boss of the main character never interact in the show, but they do interact. They're cast in Trick or Treat. She plays the one of the kids that is helping steal the jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay.
And then she knocks on one of the doors, and the woman who she never interacts in the show with, she answers the door as like a cat, like a black cat character or something, and she's like, oh, hey! Very different characters. Very different characters from what they play in the show, so it's very interesting. Also, fun fact, I believe, fact check me on this one, that girl also voices one of the princesses in My Little Pony. Was her name Princess Candace?
Oh, I think about that show, but good for her though. That's awesome.
Just my dream, you know. There's other people live in my dream. That's fine.
Pony?
Huh? Oh, that's
a pony.
Oh, to voice a character in a cartoon would be nice.
Same.
Yeah, and be in a somewhat not horror but like dark-ish kind of show, because it's still like got comedic moments that still make me laugh. But it's like, it's about death, and it gets really serious sometimes. So I'm very fascinated by that stuff. And I was obsessed with this show in like 2018, I guess. It was, oh no, 2017. It was introduced to me by my asshole ex. But I like still love the show, and I wanted to introduce it to my boyfriend, but he unfortunately had a passing in the family around that time, and I was like, this show's about death. This is not a good time for that. So I'm still like telling other people, it's like, I want to talk about the show with someone.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it and we can talk about it. I love.
And be honest, if you don't
like
like it, that's perfectly fine. It's not for everyone, but it is. I believe it's free on Amazon Prime. So
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
we're talking about nonsense, but it's my show. It's my interview, and we get to do whatever we want. Okay.
You want? You can do it. Also, this is how I think a good interview goes. Nonsense, you know.
Sweet. But we do need to wrap it up because it's been 2 hours now that we've been recording, and I do want to talk about things that are not being recorded with you. Sorry we got off track because Sammy and I are actually friends. Like we talk about things more than just horror, not a whole lot, but we like talking about that stuff, so we're gonna get distracted. She's also making my logo for my merch, so if you need any, like if you have I don't know if you're taking commission work, but she makes stickers. They're really great. She's a fantastic artist. So yeah, show them off.
I just launched a new one today, actually.
Nice.
I have it with me. It's a Dead Wizard whiskey brand. It's like I made my own little like horror underworld whiskey. It's like a bottle of spirits, you know?
I think I did see it. I think I saw it on Instagram. Yeah. Awesome. So please check her out on Etsy, right? You have an Etsy shop?
Sami the Monster or SamiTheMonster.com will link you to my Etsy.
Sweet.
The Monster and then SAMI.
Yes.
I made this shirt.
Yes, so she is making my logo. She'll be making other stickers for me too. It'll be awesome. I will be making merch with it, and you'll see the logo everywhere because that's going to be my brand from here on out, and that's why it's taking so long. It's because we got to get it right. You know, I'm going to be using it everywhere. So thank you, Sami, for doing that. Would you like to plug anything else? Would you like to promote anything?
Not really. I just kind of make art. It's my whole life.
Yeah.
Not really.
Scaring and making scary stuff.
And then reading scary stuff.
Yeah.
The three big scares of my life. Yeah.
All the scary stuff. I love it. Closing words. What is some advice you would give to someone who's never scared before but wants to?
Frickin' go all out. Just frickin' do it.
Just frickin' do it.
Just frickin' do it, man.
Yeah.
Just frickin' do it.
True.
That's all. I'm not the best at giving advice.
Hey, that's good advice. You know, some people are nervous trying to like, what if I do it wrong and this and that? No, just do it. Commit to the idea.
Commit. This is the thing in acting, which scare acting is, and it is acting. You gotta commit. You can't be scared to be scary. You have to go all out. You gotta be, in a sense, vulnerable because, like, realistically, what you're doing with that costume and like scenery looks really funny, and it's going to look funny when you're auditioning. But you just gotta go all out, you know.
And then once you're in the costume with the makeup and the ambiance, it's gonna look way better. You're gonna feel silly outside a costume, but it'll be okay. 2 points. Yeah. Piggybacking off of that. 1, if you just commit to the idea of what you're doing, that's all they really hope for. Is like, oh, this person can commit to this idea, great. That person, rather than second guessing yourself. They're not gonna hire someone who's second guessing themselves. So just like make a choice, commit, go for it.
Yeah.
Second one, it is easier to pull back than to give more. Show them all you got.
True.
They can always tell you like, that was a little much, maybe pull it back a little bit. But if you only give a little bit, that's all they're gonna see, and they're not gonna know that you can give more.
That's true. Right. And like also you might think, well, I don't know what they want, but I'm just gonna create this concept and this idea, even if the idea is wrong. Just saying that you could commit to it is what they want to see. So it's a very good point. And this is true for all acting, really. Yeah. Commit.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff for scare acting can be applied to regular acting. So it's just scaring is more fun sometimes. It's what we do. I'm gonna do my shameless plug real quick. Once again, I'm Charge and Die. Thank you for watching this. If you watched the full 2 hours, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much. I definitely need the watch time. Thank you for your support. So please like, comment, subscribe, support any way you can. Get the word out about scare acting. Not a lot of people know it's even a thing. Follow on Instagram and Discord for most up-to-date update for all my streams. I also stream on Twitch. Follow me there. Also follow on TikTok for more Scareactor stories, Scareactor content, and just more goofballiness. And have a good rest of your day, y'all.
It was Thursday.
Yeah, by the time you watching this, keep in mind this is mid-August right now. By the time you're watching this on YouTube, we're gonna be scaring. We're gonna be knee-deep scaring. Wish us luck. We're probably tired.
Yeah, I'm so exhausted already.
Oh my god, it's just that one scare I did last night really took its toll.
Oh god, I'm on the third day right now of the week. Oh man.
We're so excited.
I just want to eat ice cream.
Just want to eat my ube.
Lots of crunch ice cream. I got 2 tubs in my freezer, but I can't eat it while I'm scared because I'll crash, and I can't bring ice cream. Oh,
and you're gonna feel all heavy and god. Anyway, we got some Latin to learn, so bye everybody.
Bye Latin. I don't know what Latin is. Bye.